All right, and then finally, and the thing which I'll probably get skewered on Reddit and everywhere else for, the base that I think is the most powerful uh, is actually this one. Which, where are we? Yes, it's only 1,000 influence, folks. And yes, you can move there, and it's got rainbows and happiness and sunshine all over the place. But it's the factory, and we'll talk about why in a little bit. But just to know this, this is, in my estimation, at least in my current way of thinking, the most powerful base on this map. All right, Lucy, take us away, and then we'll talk. I'll talk more about
Real
why.
quick before Lucy starts, I would also like to say that the farm base is the only base that was previously a home base in SOD1. All the other ones are brand new.
Yeah, people are calling this one the bunny base. I definitely think it's not something I designed. This is the art is all Brant's work, but all the visuals of this base for theming are some of my favorite things in the game. With this space, we knew there was going to be a factory in Marshall. I pitched in the meeting, why do we always do industrial factories? This is the apocalypse. Clearly the machines aren't really useful for much anymore, so why not try to make it something else? I forget how exactly we landed at making a built-in garden, but that was pitched at some point. And then, of course, we needed an incinerator because we had the smokestack. So after, just trying to honestly, Brant, do you remember how we wound up with the like the Tranquility theme? Because I'm having trouble remembering. Like genuinely.
Originally, the 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 first idea came from Kevin Pun, who was the original art director on State of Decay 2. He was starting to lament the fact that we didn't have much color in our drab apocalypse. So he started doing some colorful paintings on various buildings. And when you had suggested that we sort of take a base and twist it, make it something less obvious, then all of that started to coalesce really quickly. Once we figured out that this was going to be the spot for that sort of interesting base, then we started thinking about what they could do that would turn this structure on its side, and putting a garden up on top.
Right, it was that elevated structure that we were trying to figure out what to put up there. That would make sense. Okay, this is coming back to me now. And of course,
That's
a
bit of a fix. Go ahead.
No, just once you got your hands on it and like started putting in some of the early versions of the meditation garden assets, like we were all sold on it. And we players, I don't know if we haven't even shown off the best part of that garden yet, but more aesthetics.
So, one of my first impressions when I came to claim this base is right here. Nature finds a way. So yes, nice
that
touch.
So a tree growing in the factory was something I actually really wanted for the abandoned sawmill in
Providence Ridge.
Providence Ridge. It had a perfect area for it, but one reason or another, it never got placed. And so since I was doing the bases in this one, I made sure I just put a tree there. And then as we started developing the idea on the base, I was like, well, if they're going to build the Tranquility, or if the Tranquility Garden is going to be up on top, they're going to see this as an opportunity to have another, like augment this tree that's growing in the cracks. They're going to start augmenting it with other fun stuff. And so they turned it into like a little indoor garden. And then Mark Lautenbach, I asked him to help me out with something that they might paint on the floor. And he came up with this rock and lily pad sort of motif that then leads you through the base to the koi pond as people are, trying to make this a really nice livable space that's that's somewhat tranquil, except when zombies like that are eating your spleen. Sorry, I was.
So I'm just kind of walking around. You guys saw me highlighting the incinerator there. Uh, Now the incinerator it's a new and unique uh, facility here in the factory, and you can burn one of every. Basically, you like burn one of every resource in order to gain 25 morale for 46 minutes. Which, by the way, I thought that was absolute genius. And for people like me, especially who play lethal or just in general who are having difficulty with morale, this place is wonderful. You just spend a few resources and you got plus 25 morale here. Now you've got all kinds of
And it
things
gives you storage buffs.
Oh yeah, and it gives you plus 5
Yeah.
to storage, but
Yeah.
on each one, so you can keep going and exceeding by burning just a few things. You can keep exceeding your normal storage limits because it helps keep down decay. Because theoretically, you're burning all of the older stuff first. Is that what you were gonna say? Did I steal your thunder there, Lucy?
No, you're always burning the new stuff. No, yes, no, you're fine.
And then, of course, the meditation garden that everybody loves, and also is the biggest reason why I think this base is the most powerful on this map, is because you can also attach like a compost bin, or you can attach one of the things that another of the spaces that comes from Tressie. For those of you who found it, great. For those of you, and for those of you who don't, finish Tressie's quest line. Okay. And find out what I'm talking about. But basically, you can make it between, if you have an herbalist like I do, and you also put something on it to boost its output, you can make 5 meds from this one small slot facility, I think is what it is. Is it small slot or large slot? I don't remember. So if you're careful, just inside this one base, you can take care of your med needs, you can take care of your food needs, plus you've got 2 large slots. This is the best 1,000 influence you will ever spend on a base, ever, anywhere, for eternity. So
I can't believe you didn't say anything about the benefit of being able to play soccer.
not yet.
In this base.
We've got hordes coming. We're having friends for dinner.
If we had the time, I wanted to add an achievement for getting, like, tracking, how far you get those exercise balls from the base.
Yeah.
Like, kick it all the way to Marshall or all the way to Figurefield, rather, or something like silly like that.
You know what would be really fun though is if the zombie, like, if you somehow could fill these with zombates and just kick them around, and then just watch the zombies play ball.
Like the catnip toys that you fill with.
Yeah. Right? Like, fill it with zombate and just let the zombies go crazy as they chase the ball. They're like, ow, ow, ow. No, am I the only one who thinks of that? Oh.
Well, we can make we can add it to our ideas list.
Aimbot? I don't think so. But anyway, it's aim snap, but okay. Zombie threat at home.
Shouldn't be a problem, though.
All right, so where are we at in time? We are almost right on time. So, I really love this base. Hopefully that didn't start too much of a thing. I think in terms of power, this base is awesome. The artwork on this is absolutely amazing. It's super bright. Also, one of the things that I noticed here is Kiki Trig. If you're watching, congratulations. There's your Easter egg. We found it. We love you. It's in this base. Okay.
They may be streaming right now too. Wednesday's their usual State of Decay day.
Oh, well, there you go. Maybe they're watching, and maybe we just spoiled it for them, and I just feel bad, but I don't.
They'll see the recording later.
Maybe.
For the sheriff, we'd be in bad shape.
All right.
Yeah.
A little something as a
Moderator's sleeping. No, it's probably just they sent 5 messages at once. I'm sure they're banned by now.
I probably spent more time arting that base than any of the others, just because it was so much fun. and it was huge, so it needed a lot of detail. But that one was definitely worth it. I'm really glad that Lucy, we went with your idea to mix it up because I love the different flavor and retasking of that space. It just feels right.
Now, another reason why I think it's one of the most powerful bases on this map is this little thing right here. This shortcut, it may not be as central as the farmland compound, but it's pretty close. And it doesn't take a lot, but you can expand it. I've got a community of 11 that live there in the factory right now. They are happier than clams. They haven't been that happy since they moved to lethal zones. So, you know, I love that base and everything that it does for me. Not that the others aren't bad, but I
There's
absolutely love the
definitely,
factory.
we were trying to build a base for varied needs, of course. So Tranquility definitely fits the morale and meds niches, which we don't quite cover on a lot of other places, because normally we expect players to build their own morale facilities or have, take the coffee outpost or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But it felt like such a departure and such just a fresh view, and I really appreciate it. So, anyway, thanks y'all. That was super awesome.